You a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to being your consumer advocate, helping you understand your buying decisions, making you just a bit more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Now, we don't care if you're climbing a corporate ladder or if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work. This show's for you. We're going to educate, entertain, enlighten, and most importantly, we want to engage with you. So reach out to our hotline, 813-750-0550.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
Hit us up on the hotline, 813-750-0550, helping you win in any marketplace, making you just a bit more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We got a great lineup for you today. Let's introduce our expert contributors. Coming up later in the show, we got Capt Matt Bruce, radio personality here with Salem Media. And Capt Matt Bruce, he does his Third Watch, America's Third Watch, 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. across the country, syndicated in a couple hundred markets or more out here in Tampa Bay. Let's go ahead and tease. We've got William Crowley going to be joining us on the show. William, what are you going to talk about today?
I'm going to talk about showing people how to do their own credit repair, the myths and the advantages of it and the disadvantages of it.
Awesome. Credit improvement. Okay. It's been said 99.9% of credit reports have an error. Do you agree?
Mm-hmm. That's true. I'd say even 100%.
100% have an error. Interesting. So always room for improvement with your credit scores. William Crowley is going to talk to you about that coming up in the next segment. Segment 1, we're going to be talking with Johnathan Dupree, oggvo.com, coming up right here in just 1 minute. Before we get into that, I want to touch about a hot listing here that we've got in Tampa Bay. Great opportunities for real estate here in Tampa. 13204 Fawn Lily Drive. This is a property, gorgeous home in Riverview, 4,500 plus square feet, 6 bedrooms, 5 baths, 3-car garage, resort-style amenities with a water feature and a waterfront property here as well. Covered, screened lanai, 13204 Fawn Lily Drive in Riverview. Compliments of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. 1010 Bay Esplanade. This is a gorgeous property on the north side of Clearwater Beach. A great listing that we've got, and you are literally steps to the sugar sand beaches and dolphin-filled waters of Clearwater Beach. 1010 Bay Esplanade. Great listing, 3,100 plus square feet, 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, 2-car garage, private apartment, and you've got a sun deck. This sun deck is so cool. It's like 3 stories tall, and you're overlooking. You've got awesome views of the Gulf of Mexico and the intercoastal waterways. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right, Johnathan Dupree, oggvo, welcome back to the show, sir.
Appreciate you.
Hey, my pleasure, man. So,
Good
we
got
a lot of real estate following, mortgage, title, been on air for over 7 years now. A lot of folks in the business and out of the business listening. So you've got a unique program. You got awesome software. And give us an update on what you guys are doing over there at oggvo.
Yeah, so absolutely. And we're in a really pivotal time with the pandemic, and businesses were already transitioning more into going from an interpersonal relationship with their clients and working with their referral network to trying to build their online presence. That was already happening. And essentially with the pandemic, that just accelerated that exponentially.
Right.
People aren't out. They're not able to go to open houses as much anymore. So where they're starting their searches is Google. They really are.
Yep.
And I talk to, agents, lenders, even, attorneys, property managers. These are people that, very often have been in business for decades, 20, 30 years. And they've mined that referral network so hard, they've focused on just working with their circle of influence that they have a pretty substantial hold on that group of people. But when it comes to expanding that, when it comes to documenting that success online, a lot of people struggle, and that's where we come in. It really is. Essentially, with these different profiles that so many of my clients are spending thousands of dollars on, such as, Google ads, Zillow leads, Realtor.com leads, stuff like that. The crazy thing about all these profiles is they actually reward you with free ranking just based on getting those consistent reviews.
Right.
Your reputation, your your ability to work with a past client, mine that database, get referrals, nothing's changed, right? Word of mouth always has been and will always be the number one form of marketing. But in 2020, these sites have essentially transitioned to doing that, but the online version. Getting reviews gets you more ranking, gets you that free visibility in front of future clients. And, oggvo, of course, facilitates that. We automate that for our clients that just struggle. They struggle asking their clients for reviews for a myriad of reasons. One of the most common things I hear, asking for a review is a little bit awkward. And even for the clients that do ask for reviews, the response rate is pretty low. I always ask my clients, like, how often do you go out to a restaurant, for instance, and leave a Yelp review? Most people don't do it. Right, so not only has having a 5-star reputation for your business become way more important than ever, but getting those reviews can be like pulling teeth. So very similar to how Uber, for instance, automates getting reviews for their drivers, we do that for our clients' profiles. Right, get all that success that they've built, that reputation that they've spent their entire business building, documented online so other people can see it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in the pandemic, it's more important than ever.
That's right. There's so many reasons. You look at more and more, our world's going virtual. You look at increasing referrals, your reputation management, ways that you can improve your business and really work smarter and not necessarily, the old saying is work smarter, not harder, but you're still working hard.
Absolutely.
But you're working hard in a different way. You're leveraging what you built, especially, for example, let's say it's a real estate agent that's been in business for years and decades, and they've just been a little bit slow to adapt to the technology side. Oggvo and his team, you guys at Oggvo can go in, Johnathan and his team can go in and just really do a lot of the work for you. If I understand, hopefully I'm not speaking out of tune here, Johnathan.
No, you're absolutely correct. I have clients whose business dates back. Like what comes to mind is a client of mine who is about a 40-year veteran in the plumbing industry, right? Because this applies to all industries, whether you're a restaurant, a realtor, or property manager, or a plumber, or an attorney. It doesn't matter. Everyone needs a 5-star reputation. And the story that comes to mind is my client. He was a plumber out of New York. Been doing it about almost 40 years. Didn't have a single review online. And it wasn't his fault. He specializes in his field. Like, I don't know the first thing about fixing a toilet.
That's right, yeah.
He was really good at what he did. But all of his clients, he kept track of them, and they're basically in a file cabinet with a bunch of receipts. That's all the contacts he had. So we took the time for him, right, because this is what we specialize in. It's what we love doing every day. We took the time to really organize his database of past clientele and then use that database to build his reputation online so other people can see it. And he's a friend now. Our clients are our friends.
Yeah, because search engine optimization is so key, and that's one of the things I don't understand with realtors. Sometimes they do the minimum. It's like I feel like it's sometimes it's human nature to do that. But for example, if you have a small condo or something and they only put 12 pictures up, oh well, that shows all the rooms and that shows the front and back and the pool. But the MLS allows for 100. So on my listings, I'm going to max them out. I tell my photographer that I work with, and Fabre Frameworks does an awesome job. We've been working with them for over 4 years now. And I say, hey, give me 100 pictures. I want to max this thing out. Let's get as close to 100 pictures as we can and fly the drone up there. And then that's going to help the SEO. So it's the same. It's a very similar topic right here, Johnathan.
It absolutely is. And we actually have a feature called Seo Backlinking. But, touching on that, and I definitely respect the extra effort, but I find that so many realtors, whether it be lack of time, lack of knowledge in the marketing sphere, like realtors essentially have 1,000,001 things going on. Every business owner really does. So, like for instance, to be able to learn about how search engine optimization works, SEO works, and
right.
Most of them have heard for years, right, that the best thing to do is just pay for SEO, get your website ranking on the front page. They haven't been educated on the reality that when you're paying for this SEO, you're essentially competing with sites like Zillow, right? You're competing with sites like Yelp or Realtor.com, and there's essentially very little chance to compete with these big name brands. They spend way more money on their SEO than most companies could. So, for instance, kind of touching on what you said with the pictures, like there's a way to actually generate that SEO without having to quite literally pay for that SEO with an SEO company for your site. You just essentially build the SEO for your Zillow profile.
Right.
Right, you can add all those same pictures, add all that content, but what we do here at oggvo is we build the SEO to your profile, because your Zillow profile is already backed by the millions of dollars that Zillow spent on SEO.
Right.
It already has that domain authority. You can just piggyback off of Zillow.
Nice. I like it. How do we find you, Johnathan?
You can reach us at oggvo.com, Google oggvo, oggvo. And, I'll always be happy to help you.
oggvo.com, Johnathan Dupree, doing a great job over there.
We're on Facebook, Instagram, everything.
Facebook, Instagram, follow him online, reputation management consultant, increase your referrals, grow your business, all industries, not just real estate. Johnathan Dupree, oggvo.com. Thanks so much, my friend, and we appreciate you spending some time with us.
My absolute pleasure. I appreciate you guys as well.
All right, buddy. Take care. All right, coming up, we've got William Crowley, the credit magician, in the house, on the phones, actually. I'm going to talk about credit restoration, ways that you can improve your credit scores, and actually do it on your own if you'd like. Also, feel-good story of the day, a match made in heaven. Teen swimmer becomes blind, trains for Paralympics with guide dog. So, feel-good story of the day, and more from our expert contributors. Also, got an article on TikTok. A lot in the news about these tech stocks and TikTok. Going to talk to you about that coming up with Captain Matt Bruce here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
My friends, when choosing a listing agent to sell your home, their track record is critically important. Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams Real Estate. They're consistently rated by the MLS in the top 1% of all Tampa Bay realtors, and that's a big deal. Brandon and Lindsay are always among the top realtors in the state. Call them today at 813-750-0550.
Find them at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or platinummvpteam.com.
My name is James DeJerome, and I produce the Consumer Quarterback Show for Brandon Rhymes. The Consumer Quarterback Show is a team, a group of like-minded professionals who partner together to provide our audience sound advice, knowledge, and information to make them wiser consumers. We work with all types of business owners and aggressively promote our local economy. We're currently conducting interviews for our expert contributors. If you own a business or know someone who would benefit from the exposure our show provides, please contact us at 813-750-0550 or online at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you win in any marketplace, especially in your real estate deals when you're buying, selling, or investing. We're going to help you with our expertise, top 1% real estate ranked team here in Tampa Bay. And got a couple of hot listings here I want to let you know about here in Tampa Bay. 5510 South Elkins. This is one of our vacant land parcels. We've got between 15 and 20 vacant land parcels of land here in Tampa Bay, builder, developers, investors, entrepreneurs, people that want to invest in Tampa Bay. Vacant land is one of the best that you can do right now. 5510 South Elkins Avenue. Build on your own lot, zone residential. Ballast Point community, 12 minutes of downtown, and you are close to the Tampa Yacht Club, and it's a great opportunity to build. Huge lot right here in beautiful South Tampa. 12208 Four Oaks Road in Tampa. This is a property that's in Carrollwood. Now, another development opportunity, 12208 Four Oaks Road. This one is in Carrollwood, and it is a potential for 40 units, up to 40 units there. Zoning allows for R9 zoning, and it is a prime development opportunity close to shopping and malls in Carrollwood, one of the hottest areas in all of Tampa Bay, centrally located here in Tampa Bay. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And Jade's Premium Quality Cleaning, Big shout out to Jade and her team. They do a great job cleaning our real estate properties. She is a family-owned business, minority-owned business, and they do a great job right here in Tampa Bay. Women-owned business as well, local business community. COVID-19 certified for prevention, control, infection prevention and control. Jade's Premium Quality Cleaning, $15 off for all of our show partners. Give her a call. Shoot us a text message, 813-750-0550, consumerqb.com, 750-0550. That's a Tampa number, and consumerqb.com. Without further ado, William Crowley, the credit magician. How you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing good, pretty good. I got a frog in my throat. Can you hear me okay?
Uh-oh. Okay, get him out. We got to talk credit here, man. We got to talk identity theft. I heard it every 3 seconds. Buddy. Every 3 seconds, somebody's identity stole. Is that a
yeah. It is stolen. But more importantly than the identity being stolen is how it's stolen. In the credit reporting agency, which is supposed to be kind of consumer friendly, on the consumer side, watching over us or assisting us in protecting our credit, because they're the ones that's actually overseeing the whole credit process. But they're not. If they would just abide by the Fair Credit Reporting Act, it wouldn't be probably as many people suffering from the effects of identity theft. The credit reporting agencies, I always say, is the biggest perpetrator of identity theft. Yep. They give you information out. Most time, the people that are participating in that are going straight to the credit reporting agency to get your job, to get your information. So put a promotional block on your credit report. That's not 100% identity theft proof, but it does start you on that track, okay? And the consumer has to be more proactive in watching over their credit, okay? Because we can't just rely on the credit reporting agencies to do this. The credit reporting agency job is, in fact, to verify all this information prior to putting it on your credit report. Any suspicious activity that goes on, the credit reporting agency should be able to alert you of that. Because if they're following the laws and guidelines of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, they're verifying all information prior to putting it on your credit report. So therefore, if they're doing that properly according to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, people wouldn't be as vulnerable to identity theft, okay? The credit reporting agency needs to contact you prior to putting anything on your credit report to verify it with you. Don't just accept it from the so-called lender that's submitting the information to the credit agency, but the credit agency, who is the recipient of the information according to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, must verify it with the consumer. Orally, they can call them up, or they can send a letter or something, but they cannot move forward until they get essentially the approval or the acknowledgement from the consumer. And that's not happening. Okay, so that's why identity theft is such a big problem in this country. And people are profiting off of it when in reality, the credit reporting agencies are supposed to be doing it for free. So I'm really adamant about the consumers becoming more proactive and understanding that the credit reporting agencies are doing this, and we've got to, call them out on it and make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to. That's what our credit restoration program is about. Is informing the consumer. Like I was talking to a lady the other day, and we was on our way to getting started on my credit restoration. Then she had talked to someone, and someone told her, well, do it yourself. And I said, well, on my videos, on the radio show and everything I do, yes, I want people to be able to do it themselves. But most of the time, people, just like anything else, you have to have a certain element of, knowledge of that before you actually go and do it. Like FSBOs versus realtors.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. So with the credit restoration, but we take it a step beyond that and say, okay, listen, yes, you're going to pay for our services, but we're going to charge you a very fair price, and everything is transparent. So we're teaching you how to do your own credit repair for a very affordable price, and taking you a step beyond just traditional credit repair that companies teach, because we get into the Federal Trade Commission follow-up letter, the cease and desist, validation of debt, along with using the Fair Credit Reporting Act to remove the information legally from your credit reports, and it's transparent. We're teaching our clients, giving our clients all of this information. Even though we're doing it for you, we're giving you the information. So I tell people, think twice before you go out and do it yourself, unless you really go look at the Fair Credit Reporting Act, Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. But even looking at those documents, it still leaves you kind of like a little bit, remiss or whatever, because reading it, theory and practice go hand in hand. And see, we've got the practical aspect as well. We've got the theory and the practice as doing it every day for the last almost 20 years, this is all we do, day in and day out, 365 days a year, 24/7.
You look too young for that, though, William. You look too young, man. 20 years.
I know. So we might just have a little bit more experience than the average person out there trying to delve into this arena and do the credit restoration or credit repair, is what a lot of people try to refer to it as.
Yeah, absolutely.
So doing it yourself, you can come to us and we're going to teach you how to do it yourself for a very affordable price, and we're going to teach you the right way, the legal way. Because a lot of times people out there, they get involved in, and they don't have the time to really commit to doing this the proper way, and they take shortcuts. We do it the right way. We show you how we're doing it, and we lessen your, free up your time, so you can focus on your profession, and we can add to your profession by showing you how to do your own credit repair. And it's a phenomenal process. I mean, when we got into this over 20 years ago, we just thought we were going to do it for a few people, and and that would be it. But even up to this day, I've been telling people all the time, do it yourself, but learn how to do it yourself. And so we teach people how to do it yourself, like on-the-job training, okay? And everything is transparent. We're teaching you the Fair Credit Reporting Act, Fair Debt Collection Practice Act, even aspects of the Uniform Commercial Code so that you can understand how debt really exists. Now, I'm a big proponent of telling people never, ever pay a collection, but never, ever ignore the collector. And the inside track to that is when the original creditor charges a debt off or write it off, both parties have been officially released from any obligation to the debt. That means the consumer and the lender, not just the lender. Okay, the lender charges off. They will no longer contact you for the debt, but what they will do is they'll sell it to collectors, and then collectors will contact you pretending as though they're representing the original creditor, and they're here to collect the debt and to return those funds to the original creditor. If the original creditor wasn't able to do it, what's the collector going to do after 90 to 180 days?
Right.
So the point is, never pay the collector, never ignore them, issue a validation of debt. We're trying to teach fiscal responsibility. We're not trying to tell people, look, here's a shortcut, don't pay your bills and you can clean yourself up like that. But there are mishaps that happen, especially in the economy that we're in now. I mean, like you say, I heard the gentleman before me talking about, and even you, Brandon, talking about how the economy's transitioning from going more virtual now. But a lot of people are being hurt in this transition, and their bills are the first thing that are affected because their income is affected and they're unable to pay their bills on time. So it's not necessarily people are bad people because they have dings on their credit, but the consumer laws help you to overcome those circumstances and get back on the right track, and then stay like that. Okay, we don't want to just keep cleaning you up and you keep going out there going bad because you're not learning what this is about. So do it the right way. Learn it, and we're here to give you all the information that you need. And even on the packet that we're going to give out. Go ahead.
We'll put you in touch with William. He can hook you up with his credit package. He's got a credit package that he sends out as a response to radio and TV show listeners, internet, social media listeners as well. 813-750-0550. Just text the word credit to 813-750-0550. And we'll put you in touch with William. He's going to offer you his credit package. It's going to teach you how to cut off a lot of the junk mail coming into your mailbox, how to actually get a free credit report every year annually, and also some other tricks of the trade that he's learned over his 20-year career. William Crowley, the credit magician. Just text the word credit to the hotline, 813-750-0550. And William, we got about 15 seconds. Parting words of wisdom, my friend.
The free credit reports are actually much more important now because you can check them on a daily basis. You can get them once a year, but you can check them on a daily basis.
Very good. All right, William. Okay. Thanks so much, my friend. We appreciate you calling in and being a true consumer advocate out there, brother.
You got it, buddy.
Take care. All right, coming up, Captain Matt Bruce here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, radio personality with Salem Media, combat wounded veteran. He is a overnight show host and syndicated in multiple markets here in Tampa Bay. The Captain's America Third Watch here coming up with the Consumer Quarterback Show and our feel-good story of the day. We'll be right back after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Johnathan Torres, let me know when you're ready. You guys are ready? All right, everybody stand by, please.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I am a top 1% realtor in the area, helping you win in any marketplace. Published author and professional speaker. Check out our book on Amazon, Become the MVP in Your Industry by Surfing the Radio Waves, helping you understand more about real estate marketing and what we do above and beyond for our real estate clients. Every day we like to tell you some of our listings. We got 8001 U.S. Highway 301 South in Riverview. This is a commercial building. Actually, it's a commercial lot with 2 buildings on site. It's a corner location, 40 to 50,000 vehicles a day, 4181 total square footage, 2 commercial buildings, traffic light corner, 8001 U.S. Highway 301 South in Riverview, formerly known as well, currently known as the Riverview Sandwich Shop. It is for sale. And also some great listings here in Tampa Bay. 6128 Oak Ridge Avenue, single-family home. This is a residential property, 6128 Oak Ridge Avenue in Newport Richey. Almost an acre of land on the waterfront, bay access. Beautiful property here, almost a full acre of land, 4,100 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 4 bath, waterfront home, bay access. Compliments of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Check out platinummvpteam.kw.com. And this segment is brought to you by the Golf Cart Depot, a.k.a. Discovery Golf Carts. Golf Cart Depot, longtime friends of the program. They have awesome models available. You can reach them online, discoverygolfcars.com. Tampa location, Clearwater location. And they hooked me up with a beautiful Keller Williams red. I love it. Enjoy it for either commercial use or just using it, kicking around the house, taking the dogs for a ride. It's a fun time. I got the Keller Williams logos on there as well. Compliments of Bob Burmaster over at Image 360. All right, we got Captain in the house, Captain Matt Bruce. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you, Brandon. How you doing?
Doing great, my friend. Vietnam veteran. You got your combat veteran hat on.
Well, we went over to Mission BBQ. We're there on every Tuesday, and we have a bunch of vets that come over there. And today we were honored, and I mean honored.
Oh, that's
we
awesome.
had a 43-year military vet who served in the Navy in World War II.
Wow.
Who served in the Marines in Korea. Who served in the Air Force in Vietnam. He was 3 different wars.
Wow.
And what an honor to have someone like that there with his wife, who also served 10 years as an Army nurse, which is how he met her.
Wow.
And then we had a couple of other Vietnam vets, an Afghan vet with us. And then we had the big C-130 gunship boys in town to learn how to fly in a simulator with their brand new equipment. They came over and joined us. We had a great group there.
That's super cool, man.
Yep.
It's America first nowadays, and it feels good to have that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And the military, very strong right now?
Very. And the esprit de corps is high. Contrary to what you might think, let me tell you something. The guys and gals out there, they know they got a job to do. They're doing the job. We've got their 6 here in this country, not only the veterans here, but many, many, many private citizens, yourself included. And we see to it that if they need anything, they're going to get it.
Absolutely. And when it comes to the real estate side, anybody out there in the veterans has veterans in the family, we're often we take a quarter to a half a point, and we either rebate that back, give it back to them to help pay for closing costs, or just take it right off the top commission-wise and help them on a listing if they're looking to sell, buy, sell, or invest. We love our veterans. My dad was an MP and served the country, as did many of our family as well. A lot of people were, kind of uncertain as well with elections looming and things of that nature. How secure do you think we are as Americans? I mean, even this TikTok article, which we can touch on in a moment, are we pretty secure right now?
We have a backup plan with another backup plan behind it, and plenty of stuff going on behind the scenes that we're not hearing about.
Right.
And we certainly have plenty of intel on what could happen, what might happen, what we expect to have happen.
Yep.
But we've also got another group of planners and thinkers that are out there that are planning for the unexpected, which is what you have to do.
Yeah.
Now, it's not so much about this Russia stuff.
Yep.
It's China.
Yeah.
China's the big nemesis, and they don't want to talk about that because it takes away from their nemesis to the other side of the aisle with, oh, it's Russia. Well, get over it, folks. It's China. That's the problem.
Well,
China.
too many people were, it's coming out more and more, and you're reading articles coming out with, it seems like for years there were a lot of illegal kickbacks and illegal payments going, and even billions of dollars from China going into our universities, Captain.
Pardon me, you're absolutely right about the billions of dollars going in universities. But let me tell you who the most corrupt political family in terms of dollars and cents is. It's not who you think it is. It's the Biden Five. They got several $billion over the last 25 years from China for the deals that he worked through when he was not only in the Senate, a key leader in the Senate, but the Vice President of the United States. More and more and more provable facts are coming out about that.
Yeah. It's interesting. I mean, what a divisive time that we have in polarization. Take me back 20, 30 years ago in politics. What's the big difference? It's so polarized now. It's so name calling. It's so take me back though 20, 30 years if you can.
I'll give you my example, and I can take you back to my hometown in upstate New York where I went and challenged my property taxes, and I came in wearing a suit and a tie because I figured I should look good, and all that, with an attaché case. And the first thing they said is, "Who are you representing, sir?" They thought I was an attorney.
Right.
And I says, I'm representing myself. I came here to plead my case on tax grievance day. I lived in a block by the Lake Ontario, in the town of Oswego, upstate New York, Oswego, New York, just outside the city. And all the houses were the same. And my house was the newest one that was built. And I got hit for almost $2,000 more in property taxes for the same home, the same estate, the whole 9 yards. And I said, this isn't right. So I used all the examples I had with all the records of the taxes that people were paying. I went in, I laid it all out on the table, and they said, we can't argue with you, you're right. So I won my case on tax grievance day, and then the chairman of the board came up and he says, by the way, you're a firefighter, right? He says, yeah. He says, well, we only meet part-time with the tax assessor board here, but we need to have someone replace this person over here who's retiring, and we'd like to have you fill our position for the rest of the year. Big deal. Paid $500.
Yeah, get a little supplement.
So I wound up being a town tax assessor, number one. Number two, I got some great experience, got some great training out of the deal, learned how the property tax assessments work. So I found out from the New York State level of things, if you will.
Yep.
And then they asked me to run for office, so I ran for office, and then they elected me chairman of the board of assessors. Well, it just so happened at that time, 35 years ago or thereabouts, the New York State everybody had to bring their property taxes up from where it was at to the 80% level of assessed value. That was the law in New York State. So we're all looking at each other going, well, if we do that, we're going to lose businesses, we're going to lose this, we're going to do that. And I says, time out, got an idea.
Yeah.
What's the idea? I said, all the new businesses that come in, we will give a tax break. The first year they pay zero in taxes. Second year, 25%. Third year, 50%. Fourth year, 75%, and then we bring them up to the 80% value at the end of the tenure.
Yeah.
And they said, that sounds pretty good. You sure we can do that? I says, absolutely. And I talked to an attorney friend, got him involved, and he says, you know what else you can do? I says, no. He says, you can bring the taxes up to 80%, and then you can turn around and lower them another 10%, give the people that are there a break, and see what happens. I said, we can do that? He says, yeah. I said, let's go for it. So the town supervisor said, yep. Well, our little town was 3,500 people. 4 years later, we were over 10,000 people. We had the newest and only Walmart built off the interstate in upstate New York. And it was a super center, the first super center in upstate New York. We had people coming in there, new houses coming in there, apartments being built. A boat dealer went in there, then a boat manufacturer came in there. Hunting and fishing used to be our thing with farming. And it just shot up and our tax rolls went out of sight. So guess what, Brandon? You can lower the taxes and you can make more money.
Yeah, exactly. It's a situation where, what I want to ask you also is the difference in polarization, though. Not only local taxes and things like that, but the polarization back then versus now. And then also, you'd mentioned potentially you had ran for office. I've got people talking to me about running for office, but I would be so scared of what the replications are.
I'd help you.
I mean, I would have allies, but I feel like there would be a lot of people just... today it just seems weird how they were just at, someone's house the other day. What was it, McConnell's house? And, They go to Pelosi's house. I mean, it's unbelievable how rough and these politics are. Do you see it getting any better? And what is there a way that we can return to being more of a distinguished gentleman? Same for the women on, when it comes to politics. It just seems like it's so polarized.
First of all, you have to respect yourself.
Right.
You have to respect yourself and understand you are who you are. And if you want to grow, you have to grow with an open mind. These people that are out there today are canonized in that it's my way or the highway. Okay? And anybody will tell you the business you're in, the business that I'm in, you have to listen to people, and you will learn from every caller I get, every person you talk to, you'll learn something new.
That's right.
And you take that experience and you go on with it. Instead of sitting there going, well, it can't be this way because so-and-so says such and such. Well, cut the nonsense and go do your own evaluation.
Yeah.
And let's all remember one thing. We are all Americans first. I'm not an Asian American, European American, none of that stuff. I am an American first.
Yep.
All lives matter. Blue lives matter.
Yep.
Red lives matter, as in firefighter. Okay.
Yep.
Everybody is equal in this world until you prove to be something different.
Yeah. Good point. Let's leave it at that for this segment. When we come back, more from Captain Matt Bruce here, radio personality with Salem Media here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Plus, I'm going to talk a little bit about the TikTok issue going on and stuff happening with TikTok. Oracle confirmed that it had won a bid to become the, quote, trusted technology partner, unquote, of TikTok. What does that actually mean? And also our feel-good story of the day, a match made in heaven. Teen swimmer becomes blind, trains for Paralympics with guide dogs. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is Diane Vance with Fairway Independent Mortgage, a member of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Please give me a call for any of your mortgage needs. We do all sorts of loans. If you would like information on a mortgage, you can text me or call me at 727-647-8199. I will take care of all your mortgage needs. Go to my website at dianevance.com.
Ian Beckles here with my man Brandon Rhymes, a.k.a. the real estate quarterback. Brandon, what's happening with the market?
Thanks, Ian. We are in a low inventory market, so any of our listeners are homeowners and would like a free comparable market analysis or a 2.5% listing, we will honor this for the first 3 listeners who call or text in 813-773-1253. Free CMA and a 2.5% real estate listing at 813-773-1253. Check out consumerqb.com. Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or platinummvpteam.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com. Helping you win in any marketplace. Shout out to Replenish IV Solutions, the science of nutritional balance. Say hello to Stephen and Lisa Gunnan over at Replenish IV Solutions. Vitamins, minerals, electrolytes directly injected right into your bloodstream. They got the Myers cocktail. Going to make you feel good. Going to make you more, just boost that immunity and more resistant to the COVID-19. Replenish IV Solutions. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on those special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, every day we're going to tell you something positive here, our feel-good story of the day.
Tell me something good.
Okay, so after battling anxiety and depression from losing her eyesight, Anastasia Pagonis found joy in competitive swimming again with a little help from man's best friend. New York resident Anastasia Pagonis, 14, when she lost her eyesight within 2 months. And she says, quote, being a teenage girl is hard. So having that on top of it was just such a struggle for me, end quote. And it took me about 8 months to kind of regroup myself, and then said, okay, I'm blind now. What am I going to do with my life? Swimming was the answer. The mid-distance freestyler, now 16, racked up impressive wins, including 2 gold medals at the World Para Swimming World Series in Australia earlier this year. Then she got a call from partnering with a guide dog, and the Guide Dog Foundation paired her up with a Labrador named Radar, who was raised by a professional hockey team. And with having Radar, it just helped me so much with my independence. I'm literally in love with him. He's the best thing ever, and we are a match made in heaven, she said. Feel-good story of the day. I love those feel-good stories, Captain Matt.
Oh, yeah, and especially when it comes to a dog. There's nothing like having a great dog.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. We always like to highlight some of these good stories out there here on the show. And Captain Matt Bruce joining us here in studio. TikTok in the news, Oracle. And it basically comes down to who's going to, own the technology, who's going to watch the back end from it. So Oracle is a tech dinosaur known for selling database solutions to behemoth corporations, while TikTok is an app used by Gen Z for learning the latest viral dance moves and all kinds of stuff, right? So while it seems that no one exactly knows what the trusted technology partner does, Oracle will start by providing TikTok with hosting services. Oracle will use their database, but ByteDance, a China-based parent company of TikTok, will oversee the app operation. The arrangement raises numerous questions around management of the data privacy, and this partnership does not give Oracle control over TikTok's algorithm, leading some to fear that China could still exploit the app for nefarious purposes. The deal is going to the Senate's Committee on Foreign Investment, and Marco Rubio is quoted here as saying, we remain opposed to any deal that would allow China-based or controlled entities to retain control or modify the code or algorithms that operate any U.S.-based version of TikTok.
I can only go, Brandon, on what I was told this morning when I reported the story myself and talked about it with one of my correspondents. The president has said that Oracle will control all of the content. China will have none of it. That's what I've been told.
Right.
That's what we've been told, so I'll go with that. Now, if that's the case, I'm fine with it.
Yep.
But if that's not the case, I'm not fine with it, and I'll be the first one on the phone to Rick Scott, Marco Rubio, and others and say, hey, guys, deal's off.
Do you actually call and talk to those folks and give? You hear that? Oh, call your senator, call your congressman. Do most people do it? Do seldom people do it? What do you think that relationship is between?
People are afraid to do it, Brandon, because they don't think they can get through and they don't think they make a difference. Here's what you do.
Right.
I go through and I go, hi, this is Captain Matt Bruce, retired fire rescue captain, International Association firefighter member emeritus, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
Put all that in there, and right away they log all that in the computer. They go, uh-oh, IFF, 300,000 members.
Right.
Here you go. You get where I'm going with this?
Yes.
I go in and I go, hi, this is Captain Matt Bruce, Vietnam Brotherhood, President, Sarasota Chapter, in American Legion Post, China Post #1. And right away they go, uh-oh, American Legion, 1 million members, and they do all. That's how you do it. You don't just sit there and go, hi, my name is Johnny Jones, and I want to complain about something. They'll never pay any attention to you. But the other thing is I helped Rick Scott get elected. I helped Marco Rubio get elected. When nobody else on the radio would talk to those people, they were talking to me. Same with Vern Buchanan, same with Greg Stubbe, same with Gus Bilirakis, and the same with, what's his face over there, David Jolly, when he was still the congressman, because they all were begging to come on the radio, and I brought them on my radio show and gave them a platform, and that helped them.
Yep.
So it gave me an in when I wanted to go back and talk to them.
Captain Matt Bruce here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Yeah, radio definitely gives you that platform. The social media side, it seems like everyone's got a podcast now. When you look at what's happening also with the United States Postal Service, what is the biggest issue, as I understand, is just when they're mailing out those blanket. They're mailing out the blanket ballots to some of these states, and I believe they're blue states. The question's like, who's going to fill them out, who's going to return them, who's going to oversee it. Whereas in Florida, it's more of, hey, I'd rather just vote from home, send it to my home one-on-one. Is that the conundrum?
Yes, 22 blue states, and they are all blue states, have turned around and mailed out ballots automatically whether you ask for one or not. In the other states, the red states, we have either an absentee ballot, which you have to request, you have to sign a signature form, and if the signature on the back of the absentee ballot does not match what you have on file, your ballot does not get counted. No exception, period. And The other states that don't have that in the mix are not choosing at this time, red states are not choosing at this time to mail out ballots. So it's a problem, particularly in the one area of the Democratic-controlled blue states. And what they're trying to do, and the post office is really concerned about this, and a judge just, by the way, adjudicated that they had to go back to the way they were doing things before they made their last cut, because the Postal Service at this time of the year starts to hurt for money and they close in the ranks. So they said they had to go back to the way they were collecting mail, the same mailboxes that were out there, et cetera, et cetera. But always remember this. If you vote by mail, the best thing to do is don't drop it in a mailbox. Take it to the supervisor of elections office and hand it to them in person. That way you know it got there. Because that's why we won't hear about 50,000 votes that showed up in North Carolina after the election that couldn't be counted because nobody knew about them. Nobody knew about them.
How do you know? Because sometimes over the years, like my signature, for example, would change. I'll just, whatever I feel like signing that day. Is there a way to know what your actual signature should look like?
Well,
just in case you signed differently?
If you sign the form and you don't take a picture of that so you know what it looks like for your own personal record, then shame on you.
Well, I got to look back and see what it was.
But if you signed the form for the absentee ballots, there is a signature on file, and your signature has to match. Granted, as you get older, sometimes you do a little of this sort of stuff, but guess what? Then you'll have to go back and sign another signature form.
Yeah, that's one thing.
At least in this state.
Yeah, I just want to find out for people out there. And then, something you hear a lot of, too, because it seems like a lot of what's going on is attack on Christians. It's attack on our the faith that we have, and I believe there's something like 20 million unregistered Christians. Is that true?
You're right. It is true. There's 20 million evangelical Christians that are out there, and at least half of them don't vote. Now, half of them are registered, and half of that half don't vote. So that is a problem in this country, but the evangelicals get turned off when all the name calling and the this, that, and the other goes on, the negative ads, that turns them off. But ladies and gentlemen, everybody watching, everybody listening, this is the most important. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again.
Yep.
This is the most important election of our lifetimes right now, and we must vote. It is our constitutional duty and our charge as an American citizen to get out there and vote. If you don't vote this time around and we get the solution we get, you're part of the problem.
And another thing that we've seen a lot recently is we're talking with Capt Matt Bruce here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, is we've had the USIHT, so the U.S. Institute Against Human Trafficking. We've had them on the show a couple times, trying to help out some of the nonprofits, charitable organizations, Cons for Cons. It was a good one we had recently, Children's Cancer Center over the years. Pedophilia just seems like it's been in the news more. It's more relevant now than ever. What have you heard in that space?
Well, first of all, the illegals coming across the border sneak a lot of kids in, and a lot of those kids are brought in for the slave traffic and the sex trafficking and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
Cargo ships regularly over the years have come in with cargo containers from Central America, South America, with people inside them, and sometimes they're camouflaged with other things. They're like put in a little compartment, and if you don't catch them, they sneak in, that sort of thing. We have to be... And we are getting much better at getting able to find out who these people are and where they are and what they're doing, because they can run, but they can't hide. We've got so much really good technology right now that not only are we tracking them on the internet and in these chat rooms and these groups and all that sort of stuff, but we're actually tracking them via their cell phones and what they're saying and this, that, and the other.
Yeah, exactly. And I would think they could use that heat technology as well, that mapping technology at the ports. Very good.
They also X-ray containers now.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Well, good stuff. Hey, Captain Matt Bruce here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, Brandon Rhymes, and helping you understand more about your buying decisions as a consumer advocate. That's what we do. From time to time, we get to catch up with the captain. You can find me on his show, 5:30 a.m. on Wednesdays, and doing a great job with your show. How many years running now?
21.
21 years. Congratulations. How many markets? I know you're growing every day.
I'm well over 200. I really don't know the exact number because I keep adding stations, and I don't even know where some of them are now.
Nice. Congratulations. Really Very good. Thanks for your service. Thanks for your continued service and for being a patriot, my friend.
Thank you.
We appreciate that. Awesome. Hey, another great show. I want to thank William Crowley, the Credit Magician, also Johnathan Dupree, oggvo, and, of course, Captain Matt Bruce here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community and continue to, do the right thing. Just do the right thing out there. Register to vote and get out there and vote. Turn out to vote. Bring your friends to vote and make sure everybody knows that you have registered to vote as well. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Make sure you check out consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.